Namaste, this is Sayali Kelkar. Welcome to my channel. Friends, today I'm going to talk about a topic that all of us are always struggling with, and that is how to not get affected by other people in our life. Most often than not, we have complaints and regrets that people in our life don't understand us, and we constantly are getting hurt, getting angry, getting jealous when somebody says something or somebody does something or they don't do something. And most often than not, we are always triggered by other people. So today I'm going to talk about 3 ways in which you cannot get triggered by other people. How to not get triggered by people when they say something or do something. So tip number 1. Whenever somebody says something to you or does something that you do not like, remember that it is not about you. Now, what am I saying? Whatever they are saying to you is not about you? Exactly right. If you remove this person, this personality out of the equation, there is nobody to get hurt. And why is it not about you? It's because whenever somebody is saying anything, they are saying that based on their emotions, their thoughts, and their understanding. So it isn't really about you unless you choose to make it about you. So if somebody says that I'm really stupid and I'm not understanding, stupidity and not understanding is what they are viewing, and it's not really about who I am. I choose to be who I am at all point of time. But if somebody decides to label me, it is their perception. The moment you take yourself out of the situation, you are not hurt. Point number 2 is understanding that everybody, all of us in fact, are on the journey of evolution. So all of us have limitations. All of us have patterns that we haven't yet dealt with. And so is the case with people that we live with, our loved ones, our parents, our partners, children, everyone. So whenever somebody is saying something that seems to trigger you, understand that it is coming from their limitation or their patterns of behavior, and it's actually not about you. So if you give that understanding to them, you're going to be okay with whatever they say because you know where it is coming from. It's rather them who probably need help than what you are feeling at the moment. Okay, now tip number 3, and the most important thing that transforms every experience from feeling hurt or angry to feeling love, is that when you understand that the other person is coming from a limitation, you allow them lovingly to walk through the experience. What do I mean by this? What I mean by this is when you understand that they are coming from their perceptions and limitations, you allow them to say or do or not do or whatever it is they're doing with full love in your heart. Because you know very well in your heart that whatever they are doing is not really about you, but it is their need. It is their pattern that they need to actually experience, and that is the reason they are doing or saying whatever they are saying. When you give that space for the person to be, that unconditional space, that unconditional love for the person to be exactly who they are at that point, you will see that transformation starts happening. First and the foremost thing to remember in all situations when you get triggered is that you are always thinking about yourself. The reason you get triggered is because you're always thinking that somebody is doing something to me and there is a threat for me and there is a security breach and I got to protect myself. And that is where all the triggers come from. You have to remember that there is nobody actually in this world that can hurt you or trigger you. You are the one who choose to get triggered. So if you remember these 3 points, the first and foremost thing to realize is that it is not about you unless you choose to make it about yourself, and then obviously you get hurt. It's not about you. Second thing is the other person is saying things based on their perceptions and their limitation. Allow them to walk through that experience. And third thing is give full love to the situation because that's all that situation needs. The moment you allow that space instead of resistance, instead of resisting what they're saying, the person in front of you actually has the ability to transform their own limitations. And this is the way how you actually transform situation that's triggering you to the situation that gets fulfilled with love. Now, the last tip I want to give you is that if you do get triggered, if you do feel hurt and angry and jealous, and how can that person say this, and why is he doing this to me, and all of that, become aware that you are creating those thoughts and emotions within you. Again, when you are feeling all these things, it's not about that person, it's about you. It's you who is choosing to get triggered at this point. It's you who is choosing to create those thoughts in this moment. So just allow yourself to have those thoughts and feelings. Observe those thoughts as if they are the thoughts of some third person. Just let them pass, and you will see the intensity of those thoughts reducing as you start observing. And then do these 3 points that I just talked about. Remember, it's not about you. Remember that the other person has their limitation. And third thing is, allow them unconditionally to do whatever it is that they need to do. Thank you.